Today, we're going to demystify something you use literally every second you're online, but probably never think about. We're talking about digital files and the hidden trade-offs that control everything from your phone's storage to your favorite movie stream. Oh, you've definitely been there, right? You're just staring at a progress bar that will not move. Or even worse, you get that dreaded storage full notification, usually right when you're about to take the perfect picture. Well, these aren't just little annoyances, they actually point to a huge challenge in how we manage our digital lives. And it all starts with this one word, multimedia. It sounds kind of formal, but really it's just the catch-all term for everything we create and share online, from a simple text message to a 4K movie. And all this stuff, the photos, the songs, the videos, that's what fills up our devices and clogs up our connections. So, if all this multimedia creates these absolutely massive files, how in the world do we manage it all? Well, the answer is a little bit of digital magic called compression. It's the unsung hero that keeps our phones from, completely exploding and the internet from grinding to a halt. And the impact of compression is just huge. It's not just about saving a little space on your hard drive. It's the reason you can send a photo in seconds. It's why you can stream a movie without that endless buffering wheel. Honestly, compression is the engine that makes the entire internet feel fast and seamless. Without it, our digital world would be unbelievably slow and clunky.
But here's the catch. This magic, it comes at a price. It forces us to make a constant choice, a really big trade-off between perfect, crystal clear quality and a small, convenient file size. And you almost never get to have both.
Okay, so this brings us to the two main ways compression works. On one side, you've got lossless. Think of it like a perfect vacuum-sealed bag for your clothes. It shrinks everything down to fit in your suitcase, but when you open it up, every single original piece is still there, exactly as it was. On the other side, you've got lossy. Now, this is more like making orange juice from concentrate. You get the essence, the main flavor, but you've permanently thrown away some of the original water to make it smaller and easier to ship. So lossless is for when you absolutely positively cannot afford to lose a single pixel or a single bit of data. We're talking about the master recording in a music studio or maybe the original digital blueprint for a building. The fidelity has to be 100% perfect. But let's be real, most of the time we're all living in a lossy world. We need to send that photo right now. We want to stream that new song on our commute. So we're totally willing to sacrifice a tiny, tiny bit of quality that our eyes or ears might not even notice, all in exchange for speed and a file that doesn't eat up our entire data plan. So, how does this whole trade-off actually show up in the files we use every single day? It's time to decode that alphabet soup of file extensions you see all the time, from JPG to MP4. For images, this is super clear. A JPG is the absolute workhorse for photos because its lossy compression makes really small, easy-to-share files. But for a company logo or a screenshot where you need those super crisp lines and maybe a transparent background, you need the perfect quality of a lossless PNG. And then there are these new formats like WEBP, which are really clever because they can actually do both. They can give you the small file sizes of a JPG and the crisp, transparent quality of a PNG. That versatility, that's why they're basically taking over the modern web. Right, exactly. You'd choose a PNG. And why? Because it's lossless, so the quality is perfect, and it supports transparency, which a JPG just can't do. See? It's all about picking the right tool for the job. And the exact same logic applies to audio. A professional musician, they're going to record it in a lossless format like WAV to capture every single nuance. But for us to listen to it, that huge file gets converted to a lossy format like an MP3 or an AAC. Now, if you're an audiophile and you want to archive a perfect copy of your music, you might use FLAC, which is lossless, but still manages to be smaller than a WAV file. So why is that? Well, the answer is just pure efficiency. Streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, they have to send billions of songs over the internet every single day. Smaller files mean faster streaming and less data usage for all of us. It is the absolute perfect use case for that lossy trade-off. Now, when it comes to video, which combines massive image files with audio, lossy compression isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely essential. This is where formats like MP4 are king. It uses this incredibly efficient lossy compression to shrink gigantic video files down to a manageable size, which is what makes sites like YouTube and Netflix even possible.
Without it, we would all be stuck in a permanent state of buffering.
Okay, so now you have the toolkit. You can look at a file format and not just see a random jumble of letters, but actually understand the choice that was made behind the scenes, that constant balancing act between quality and size.
So let's just recap the big stuff. Compression's whole job is to make files smaller. Lossy compression sacrifices a little bit of quality for a whole lot of convenience. Lossless, on the other hand, preserves every single bit of data, but the file's going to be a lot bigger. And finally, just remember that every file format is a tool designed for a specific job, whether that job is fast web streaming with something like an MP4 or perfect archival quality with a format like a TIFF.
And all this leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. For decades, we've had to live with this trade-off. But what about in a world of nearly infinite cloud storage and gigabit internet speeds? Will we still need to make that compromise? Or will every file one day be lossless? Something to think about the next time you hit send. Thanks for tuning in.